So here we are on the start, and the whistle's off. Off we go, one mass start, all the groups together in the male category. So we've got the elite off the front, super vets off the back, and there's about 45 of us in all. So a bit of a busy start. Up this fire road, we've got a right hand side, left hand side. I was expecting to go across that grass, but on the first lap we don't, we go straight up the fire road. There goes Richie on the left, and then on the very outside left of him in the black is Grant. He eventually wins the super vet category, and Richie comes second in the grand vets. So that was the side I particularly wanted to be on, and now I know why they were on the left and not where I was on the right. But hey, all learning, we'll get there eventually. So yeah, quite busy. You're basically stuck either on the left or right hand side, and then the middle is just full of the bigger gravel that your back tyre is going to start slipping on. So really I should have just kept up the middle there and kept that momentum going, but I tucked in thinking, right, we'll see how we get on. And then just as I start thinking let's go up again, this guy jumps in the middle and kind of blocks us. So that, right, let him get through and then let's crack on. The fire road just starts to ramp up again a bit by here really, so I don't want to start losing momentum. Let's just keep pushing the gear. Let's keep up there. You know, heart rate now is up in the 170s. I think I maxed out at 180 doing the race, average 166 heartbeats, and that includes all the downhills. So yeah, it was full chat for 4 laps for ourselves. So we've got to go up this fire road 4 times. We just got one of the Cardiff GIFs juniors. He comes second in his category, so we'll just give him a little friendly bit of banter on the way past. But this is, yeah, one of the steeper sections on the fire road, and we start picking people off as it's kind of stringing out. These guys, as it turns out, were in the vet category, not that I knew at the time. Again, you kind of look back at the numbers on the number board and work out who's in your category, but when you're racing from behind, you just want to get past anyone and everyone. But these guys do come back past me in about half a lap on some of the slower corners, so we'll pick that up when it happens. But for now, let's head down. I know it's about to level off a bit just before it goes left into a bit of single track in some of the woods, so we come off the fire road briefly and then back on. So just mindful, let's start picking out as many as we can, and let's catch that little group in front. I think I can see Richie's red top starting to get away. We get past the Bulls rider, and again he'll come back past me in a moment. But last little ramp up before we head your left, little offshoot, bus stop if you like, off the fire road into some single track. It was good fun, a little bit wide there. I kind of improved my lines if you like. Lap 1 I realised where I was taking the wrong lines on a few of the corners, and then on lap 2 and 3 I tried to pick a better line, let's say. But just as we came past, there was a little group in front, and I'm trying to get on the back of them for this last bit of fire road before we start a bit of a descent. We just thought we can get a bit of towing, but I don't really seem to make any grounds. I don't seem to be getting any closer anyhow. But this is right at the very top, just before you get on the go with the flow single track downhill. So this is, you know, a good 7 minutes of climbing, heart rate coming out the mouth, and this is your first bit of rest really. But heavy on the gears, quite a few rollers. This is slightly downhill, so a chance to get your breath back. And then we're going to do a sharp left onto that grass on the left hand side, where you can see a string of all the other riders in front. So it was a good chance to see where you were and, you know, who was in front, who was behind. So bottom gear corner, sort of hard left hairpin. I completely got this wrong. I thought I took a good bend until I came here and I was like, oh, I got no speed. So jumping down the gears, should have been a bit harder on the pedals, because here I go, there goes the Bulls rider. He's harder on the pedals, got more momentum, and that's, yeah, a bit of a learning curve again. Out of these slow corners, try and carry more speed and try and get back on the pedals hard. This is across the top before we get into the top tables. I'm just about to lose another space here on this off-camber right-hand loose bend. That full suspension bike, allowing a bit more braking traction and just carrying the speed better. At least that's my excuse. Hardtail was great for the most part, but it just lacked a bit of grip in some of the braking areas and on some of the more loose bends and muddy area. Here we go, just about to jump into the top tables if you know the course on Go With The Flow. So we kind of just shot off the main route a few times across the grass and in and out the trees. But this was good fun, chance to look on the left to see who's behind you, and there's a good group in front. So I'm thinking, right, I can try and tag onto these now and start picking them off. We're all kind of going a similar speed on the downhill, so I'm just trying to keep it fast and low over these tables, trying to get good line and good speed through these berms, and we're all pretty much carrying similar speed. But it is a good time to catch your breath. Yeah, this is kind of freewheeling. There wasn't much pedalling going on. A little bit flatter here, so a few pedals out the bend. And we're going to get off this gravel Burmy flow trail in a minute and back onto the grass. And at the moment we're still in the race. I'm still not quite sure who's in my race. In my head I'm about 10th. Just about to hit a bit of a tack section. I'm just thinking about it and this guy comes straight past me, so all I'm thinking, slowing down, setting up for this little bit of tack. Yeah, he was straight on the gas and straight through, so, and takes a slightly better line, so carries more speed, and I try and improve that for the second lap. But just visually I knew I was going a bit slow and you could just see him pulling away. But yeah, this mud, a bit sloppy, wasn't much grip with the what do I run? Advent on the front and Advent race on the back. But again, back up to full speed over the flow. And it's quite enjoyable if you've not ridden the course before. You know, there's a lot of off camber, loose gravel to try to get the right tyre pressures so I could carry speed everywhere through the fast off camber bends. A little bit of single track tech here. Again, about picking the right lines, about to get a little bit sloppy. Again, off camber, slow corner. I went for the inside line this lap, that was the wrong line. Although didn't carry too bad a speed, and a few of these flat turns back in to Go With The Flow. So there's a lot of these just as we come out at the end of these berms now and go back into the forest, we're going to get onto some single track, and we just dink right here up through the trees. And this was in last year's course, so it was kind of on my mind. It was the one bit I had to push every time. We just cross a little brook. I think I might have called it a river, but a little brook. And again, as we're coming up here, there's the main line that we're on. And ideally you want to just go right here off the main line because there's a bit more traction up there around the side and you don't go over this bit of a tump. But again, we keep that for laps 2, 3 and 4. And then this is that little bit of a brook that we're coming to. That was my nemesis, nearly cost me the race. As you come, it's nice and slow. My front tyre caught that stone, my left leg dug into the handlebars. I don't know what happened, but gave me a dead leg. I'm faffing about here trying to get my feet on the pedals and clipped in, but my leg doesn't want to work. It's just like an instant dead leg and a lot of pain in my left knee. So I'm just wondering what just happened. Go through here, another little feature on the water. Go to stand up to get up here and my leg just cramps, or it feels like it's cramping. And now my head's like, oh, what have I done? Have I really injured myself? Is it just a dead leg? Can I ride it through? I just kind of gather myself, look up, the guys that were in front of me have gone. So I'm just like, well, just, you know, we've got a bit of downhill here, a bit of just chill, let your leg come back a bit, let's see what happens. You know, don't pull out, let's just keep riding on and see if it comes back. But oh, that was painful. That hurt. But you know, we just come down here, enjoy the flow sections, enjoy the jumps, and then start thinking, right, I got to pick some better lines this second lap. Hopefully my leg will come back. Don't worry about it too much, just keep chilling. So I thought, right, along these bottom tables, let's keep it fast and low, not too much style, but let's just try and work now and work back at that group that was in front of me. In my head I'm thinking I'm maybe, you know, mid-pack, 10th or something, but little did I know I was third. So this is end of the first lap going into second, so we turn right here across the grass. That's pit lane on the right for feed and tech assistance. Back to the very top over the large tables. I still haven't seen anybody in front of me, so I know that group are there somewhere, and I've got to, you know, catch them up. There's nobody really behind me, so I'm thinking, okay, I'm standing my ground. If I just work away at it, pick the right lines, hopefully I'll get back onto that group. And this, for me, in a way, was a boring race because it wasn't in the middle of everybody. Here we go again on that tech section. I came in slightly better, I like to think. And just wanted to maybe this time go on the wide lines, just to see if the outside lines carried a bit more speed. I think it did, to be fair. That mud was just like two-wheel drifting basically. But yeah, it's sort of a boring race, and I didn't see an awful lot of people now after that first lap mishap. But it was kind of a good race in the sense of I had a bit of a mental battle with myself to keep pushing through the pain, to tell myself that I'm not caused any injury, you know, it's just like a dead leg, but it'll come back, and just work at it, keep your pace, keep doing what you can do, and you might just pick one or two more people off. So that's how lap 2, lap 3 and lap 4 went, to be honest. But here we are back into the trees on lap 2, and go around the right hand line on that. It was a bit quicker. Here we come to the let's call it the water feature, and I'm just thinking, I don't want to risk riding it again. It already went wrong first time. And you can see that stone right in the line, and it's only like sticking up an inch or two. I should have just popped the front wheel over it, but it is what it is. Clip back in a bit quicker, all went a bit quicker, and back onto the float trail. So you can see on the right hand side is that group that I was behind earlier, if you like, so I'm maybe a minute behind them now. Across the bottom tables, happy days, nice bit of fun. And we're halfway through, so 2 laps down, 2 laps to go. Yeah, the legs are kind of working. Every time I stand up, they still have that feel of cramp. Back to the top, carry a better line through that tight right hander. We got this stone which they sprayed red, so you can go outside or inside. I managed to keep a tight line and go inside each time. And again, you just get bounced a bit through that little sort of alleyway. Back to the top table jumps. Just see somebody now in front, so I'm starting to think, right, I'm starting to claw back. It's taken me like a lap and a half, but we're starting to get back on them. Let's see if we can start pulling that distance back in. Yeah, it's a good trail, you get a lot of speed. You can't take your eyes off the trail, mind, because you know the off-camber stuff will catch you out. This is just up on the grass past pit lane, and I'm starting to pull this rider in. Eventually catch him on the fire road on the last lap, and I've no idea whether he's in my race or not. And it's only when you get this close, and I kind of picked out his number board. I was like, he's not in my race, but hey, let's just keep going. We might pull that one in front again. Last time through the water features, and I'm just thinking, yeah, there's nobody now. I'm not going to catch anyone. There's only really the downhill bit now to the finish line. And the 4th time through the bottom tables, you're kind of enjoying them. You know the finish line's just round the corner. So 3rd place, good day's work. Happy I rode through the pain barrier and finished the race. And let's just pass you over to Russ for final comments. Cheers, guys. Well, he was in first in that race. First time I didn't get lapped by the elite boys. I managed to finish my race just as they came round. And the second first was I actually got on a podium. I came third, first time on the podium, so third in my first Welsh XC race this year. So I'm really happy with that. Bit of a boring race in the sense of nobody really came past me. I didn't really pass anybody else. It was one or two times, but not like the other rounds where you're mass passing people or people coming through me. We all started together, which made the start, if you like, the first half of first lap very busy, just trying to get up that fire road past as many as I could. That went well. It was a good course, a bit techier than last year, a bit sloppy, an awful lot of grip on the back of the hardtail, but hey, she performed very well. Good grip, got the pressures and the tyres right, and I am very happy. Obviously pinged my knee crossing the river at the first part. I don't know, my front wheel got stuck in a rut and I just slammed the bar and I had to ride that out for a lap or two. Every time I stood up it kind of cramped almost feel, so it was all good, kept on going. But yeah, so from the gun I'm going to give it my full beans, try and keep Richie in sight, and I did to the top of that first. Keep it straight, GoPro just cut out, so happy days. Keep riding those blue sky trails. When's your next race? Okay guys, on to the next, which is Woody's Nationals, 2 weeks time. Let's see how we get on with the big boys. Cheers guys.